This is Jamey, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in Path to Adventure. I played this game for the first time a couple days ago and really enjoyed it. There's a nice storytelling element to it, although it's not really a storytelling game. You can play the game completely without the theme just by going after points and going after set collection and the skill test, going after skill tests that you can achieve. But you can also make decisions based on what you think your character would do or what you would do in these circumstances. There are all these decisions like, okay, do you steal from the family or do you help the family cross the road? That type of thing. But the skill tests are what I wanted to talk about today, and perhaps in a Sunday sit-down video this week. In Call to Adventure, you have cards that you've accumulated in your tableau that have certain icons on them. And whenever you have a skill test that requires one or more of those icons, well, it doesn't actually even require those icons. Your chances of achieving the skill test are improved if you have those certain icons. You look at those icons and you select some runes, and this is where what I think is really, really cool. The runes in the game look like this. They're these bakelite tiles, kind of like azul tiles, but they're double-sided. And for example, if I have the sword icon, say I have two swords, I would gather these two tokens that have the yellow sword icon on them. I know a lot of them look like swords, but these just happen to be the sword icon. So on one side, they have this little icon here that means one point towards the skill test. So you know at the very least, well, actually, no, that's not necessarily true. These are 1 point. On the back side, though, are different things that you can find. Like there are different icons on them. There's one icon on the back of one of these tiles that gives you 3 points towards that skill test. There's another one that lets you draw a card. And there's another one that I'm forgetting now. But there are all these different things on the back of the tiles. And so I love a couple different things about this. One is, instead of just rolling a die during a skill test, you're taking a handful of runes, this big handful, and you're kind of just splashing them on the table and seeing what you get. And that's very gratifying. It feels really good to do that. And you always have these basic runes too. I didn't mention those, but these black runes, you always have these. These are blank on the back side, and they have 1 skill point on the front. You always have those for any skill test. You have 3 of them. But I love this feeling of, like, I love rolling dice, of course, but this has an older feel to it. Even though it's a brand new game, it's set in older fantasy realms, and it feels like something that would exist in an older fantasy realm. It has that component type feel to it. And I really love the feel of splashing them on the table and seeing what you could get. So I love that. I also love, as part of that mechanism, because these are double-sided tiles, I love that the different tiles that you can get for your icons, your runes that you're accumulating, that the backs of them are different. And so there's never really a guarantee that you are going to accomplish the skill test, because some of the backs don't contribute towards it. Some of them do other things. Like I mentioned, they might give you a card that you can draw that you can use on a future turn. So I really like that the backs offer a little bit of variety, a little bit of uncertainty, but still almost always good stuff. There's almost always a benefit when you throw down these tiles. There are rare circumstances where you maybe barely don't achieve the skill test and also didn't get any of the interesting backs of the tiles. That does happen, but it was still overall a very gratifying experience to use these rune tiles in the skill test in this game. And it was a great reminder to me that there are a wide variety of ways to do skill tests in games, and that's why I want to talk about that in my Sunday sit-down video in a couple days. For now, though, let's focus on Call to Adventure. What is your favorite? I might have said Path to Adventure earlier in the video. Sorry if I did that. It's Call to Adventure. What is your favorite mechanism in Call to Adventure? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Thanks.